So, hello guys, and as you know, we're studying about biological evolution, and what is the goal of this is that you learn about this and the events that happen, the different theory that we will be seeing, and what people of those days said. So let's start with this and biological evolution and natural selection as a mechanism of evolution. So here we see that according with evolution, all the cells have, or we have the idea of evolution, that everything has a common ancestor from which a new life form have developed. In this case, we see here the bacteria or primitive bacteria or um, just a bacteria, and the evolution doesn't go in a straight line. So from here and all the organisms will go up here straight. No, it doesn't happen in that way. What is evolution? So evolution is a natural dynamic and a continuous process where species adapt to their environment to which they are exposed. So according with the environment, they will develop some characteristics, and maybe they won't develop other characteristics. And these characteristics will be passed to the next generation, or we can call it to the offspring. And here, these modifications that are in the organisms can be inheritable to the next generation, so from parents to children. So, speciation. Speciation doesn't occur in one individual. It occurs, or it is the accumulation of changes in a population. And this population no longer can interbreed with other species. So the meaning of interbreed will be reproduced between them. And we have here three types of isolation, or types of how speciation happen. Geographic isolation. So right here you see a population that is brown, and here a light brown. The barrier here is a physical barrier. That could be a river, could be a mountain, but these are, or they used to be the same, a kind of animal, but now they are separated. And even if they were able to reproduce among them, they can't because of the barrier. So, and after a long, long time, they won't be able to interbreed anymore. So there will be two species. The temporal isolation, temporal has to be with time. So some species have different times of the day where they reproduce or they breed. That will be Monday and afternoon, or maybe will be summer and winter, or something like that. When that happens, these two species, even if they are similar, they can't reproduce between them. The last one, habitat isolation, where the snakes live. So, for example, here, this one lives in water, and in this one, it lives in the desert. Even if they want to interbreed, and even if they can interbreed, they are not going to do it because they are not in the same place to do it. Entonces, si vemos aquí tenemos la especiación, que es la acumulación de cambios en una población, es decir, no solo en un individuo, sino todo el grupo. Podemos ver aquí un color café más oscuro con color café más claro, y lo que les está separando es una barrera de tipo física, que podría ser una montaña o un río. Esta es la separación geográfica. En el caso de la temporal isolation, separación por el tiempo, esto puede verse influenciado por las estaciones del año. En el caso de Ecuador, nosotros nos disponemos de las 4 estaciones que serían summer, or summer, autumn, winter, and spring. But here there will be another difference, not the seasons, but maybe the animals will breed in the morning and the other species in the afternoon. So it doesn't let them to reproduce between them. En habitat isolation, la separación por un hábitat, por ejemplo, vemos en el gráfico en la una, la serpiente se encuentra en el medio ambiente que es acuático y la otra se encuentra en un desierto. Por más que estas puedan reproducirse entre ellas, no lo harán porque están muy, muy lejos, no viven en el mismo espacio. Okay, hypothesis. Hypothesis, when I think something, when I'm doing a guess, something that I don't know for sure, I have to test this and to do observation and experiments. When we do this observation and these experiments, at the end we'll get results, and thanks to these results, we can say that these hypotheses are right or are not right. So we can support or refute the hypothesis with evidence. But if a hypothesis is confirmed, and it will become a theory, but if other scientists can test and do the experiment and obtain the results similar to what the scientist did. So here you see Anaximander. Again, remember, these are going to be evolutionary theories. Some of them are going to be evolutionary, others are going to be creationism theories. So if you see here, we already studied Anaximander. So he said the spontaneous generation, la generación espontánea, that it says that all living beings came from a fish-like. Es decir, todos los seres humanos provinieron de una criatura que se parecía a un pez. Why? ¿Por qué? Because Anaximander thought that human babies are very, very, or they need a lot of job. And if you don't have that, the babies won't live. So he said, no, they need to be in the water as a fish until they are big kids or adults, and they can go out and then they will live in a new environment. So, but the idea of Anaximander is that humans evolved from fish. What is important in the century 19 and 20, that theories had an influence by religions. People thought about God and believed in Him at that age, and they were based in scientific observation as well. So, '19th and 20th century, the theories in this time of the in this time were influenced by religion beliefs of that age that were based in scientific observation. There is two theories, the fixism and the catastrophism. Both are based on the literal interpretation of the Bible. For that reason, both are creationist theories. So don't forget, fixism and catastrophism are creationist theories. And in both cases, there is going to be a creator, so a divine one that creates everything. Entonces, fijismo y catastrofismo, los dos están basados en hechos, están basados en la interpretación literal de la Biblia. Y por lo tanto se las denomina como teorías creacionistas. Ahora, si observamos en el gráfico, ustedes pueden ver a diferentes, en cierta forma, diferentes gráficos comparando lo que dice fixism con lo que es catastrophism. Entonces, en fixism, you see animals during the creation and animals after the creation. I mean, after a long time. Animals or now. Animals in creation, according with this theory with fixism, animals are the same, before and now. So, long time ago and now. Pero, this theory cannot explain the origin of fossils. So, fijismo. Fijismo es una teoría creacionista en la cual dice que hay un ser creador que creó desde el inicio y hasta el día de hoy los mismos animales. Por lo tanto, esta teoría no puede demostrar por qué razón hay fósiles marinos, fósiles en algunas partes del mundo. Mientras que catastrophism, this is a theory that says there was a catastrophe. We can consider one catastrophe in the Bible, and that will be the flood of Noah's day. What happened? It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and after that, the animals were in the boat, in the ark, for 40 days, 40 nights, and after that, until the water was dry, hasta que el agua estaba seca. But what happened here? What happened was that some animals couldn't survive after the flood, and for that reason, the catastrophe can explain the origin of fossils of some animals that do not exist anymore or that they are extinct. So let's do this in Spanish as well. Entonces, en el caso del fijismo, la creación desde el inicio hasta el día de hoy no ha cambiado. Es decir, que los animales que se crearon al principio y los que hay ahora son los mismos. Pero esta teoría no puede explicar los fósiles, mientras que catastrofismo es una teoría que también es creacionista, pero en este caso hay algunos animales que no se los ha podido o no se los ha encontrado ahora en la actualidad, pero se conoce de su existencia debido al registro de fósiles. Entonces, la teoría del catastrofismo puede explicar el origen de los fósiles, puede explicar por qué hay fósiles. So, yeah. So here, again, fixism and catastrophism. So what each one says. And here, so if you remember, we were talking about a catastrophe, the Noah's flood. So what I want with this, lo que quiero que vean con esto es que not just in the Jews culture, en la cultura judía había un diluvio. If you see here, there is a flood in Babylonia. Here, a flood in India. Here, a flood in Greek mythology. And the last one will be in Mexico. It's a flood of Aztecas with the hero Cuscos. And finally, the mythology from the north, blood of the giant Ymir was spread. And that is how the whole earth was covered by water. Or in the last case will be by blood. But what I wanted to show you is that other cultures, I think I will say more than 200 cultures know about the flood. They might not call it the flood of Noah's day, but it's the same thing. Entonces aquí lo que quiero que observen es que hay, además de la cultura judía que nos muestra lo que está en la Biblia y sobre el diluvio, hay otras culturas que también tienen registrado ese evento dentro de su historia. Por lo cual, esto nos ayuda a comprobar que lo que está escrito en la Biblia está correcto.